Alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear humanity, I've come again today and we are going to look at health and the hidden dangers of alcohol in human bodies, as well as the hidden dangers to society, our societies, if a people use alcohol in their daily lives. Those societies are either they become infested with diseases and crime and whatever. So we are going to look at the cause, the hidden dangers of alcohol. First of all, we are going to look at the health of a human being and how dangerous it is that if a human being consumes alcohol, what exactly does the human body, for instance, the organs, the brain, the heart, and the red and white blood cells in the human body, how do they kind of respond to this deadly toxic thing, the substance called alcohol, in our societies? Medically, let's look at alcohol from a medical view, a medical perspective, a medical view. Because before we start, I will highlight it to you, human beings and every individual, that it is your responsibility as an individual out there, as a 15-year-old boy, or 18-year-old boy, or a 20-year-old man, a 24-year-old man, a 30-year-old woman, or 30 or 40 or 18 or whatever. It's your responsibility to look after your health, to look and protect your health from hazards, from healthy hazards. Alcohol is a health hazard. Is a health hazard to your every tissue, every muscle tissue on your body. That includes the organs, the internal organs in your body. Alcohol is a health hazard to your body as a human being. Because one point I'm going to put straightforward on the table is that once you consume alcohol and alcohol enters your body, it kills every red and white blood cell, electrical spasms in your blood system, or in your red and white blood cells, electrospasms are disabled or killed as soon as you put alcohol in your body. And that means once the electrical spasms in white and red blood cells are disabled or killed, that means the entire body, the entire internal body organs of a human being are put out of its natural balanced rhythm, or rotation cycle rhythms that man allows the organs or the heart to operate in a normal way, and the brain to operate in a normal way, as well as, once you put alcohol in your body, the first thing that alcohol does, it kills the electrical spasms in every red and white blood cell in a human body. Once that is put out of action, the entire body organs are put out of action. First, with the what that does, it causes the starvation of electrical spasms to the brain neurons of the brain of a human being. Once the brain neurons are starved of any electrical spasms, which are found in red and white blood cells, that means the brain goes into what we call the brain neurons goes into what we call partial paralysis. Medically, you would say it's partial paralysis, but on the other side, is your body enters a phase where it is half of the human body is dead. The brain is dead. It cannot function because it has no electrical spasms to spark and carry out functions of managing the entire body rotational cycle body organs, including the blood itself, the rotations of every red and rotation, sequencing rotation cycle of every red blood cell and white blood cell is kind of put out of action. That applies to every organ in your body. And with that effect, the brain goes into a shutdown. The brain neurons are cut off completely. You are disabled. With that, you cannot stand on two legs, and you cannot articulate any reasoning accountability to your own self. You cannot even recognize yourself. If you ask the question, you'll be either gibberish or you'll be kind of you will not give a meaningful response to any question asked to you by another human being who is not drunk. That tells you that your brain is out of action, your organs, and for that you cannot stand on two legs. You cannot stand. That's when a person is staggering. You cannot walk straight. You cannot stand on two legs. That means you cannot recognize your own body. With that effect on your body, it is advisable for me. I would advise human beings on planet Earth today that the worst deadly drug or intoxicant which is available 24 hours a day, either in a supermarket store or in a supermarket store shelves. That means a store which sells food. In every restaurant, if you want to have a meal, they will offer you. They'll ask you whether you want that meal with wine and whatever. And for your information, wine or alcohol is not a part of a healthy diet. It's not a part of a healthy diet. So, alcohol is one of the deadliest fuel and deadliest drug, intoxicant that every human being can have access to at any given time, freely available. But the devastating effects of alcohol, the hidden dangers of alcohol in a human body are deadly. That's why I said alcohol is a healthy hazard. Alcohol is a healthy hazard which should be put on the world list of things that are deadly to human beings. Because with it, if you are to look at statistics of crime, whereby alcohol has the largest percentage of crimes committed in any given society where alcohol is allowed. If you are to ask security institutions like the police or whatever, alcohol makes a big percentage of any crime in any society where alcohol is kind of those countries which take alcohol to be a social part of something, part of their social daily lives. Alcohol, when it comes to domestic crime, domestic abuse, whatever, alcohol also plays a very big role in making families, separating families, destroying lives. If a person becomes alcoholic or is kind of hooked on alcohol, she won't be able to do anything for herself. And with that, the alcohol is a health hazard because it alters the original genetic birth structures of any human being. And in women, it's even more deadlier because in women, alcohol causes an effect. Once alcohol toxins enters a woman's body, everything that a woman has consumed as alcohol will go straight into the reproductive system. With that, it will make a layer in the ovaries of a woman. Alcohol toxic gang will build a mucus, a lining mucus of the ovaries, which causes the woman's entire reproductive system kind of clogged and infested with toxic, deadly toxins, whereby if a woman drinks alcohol and she becomes pregnant, the chances of that woman having an offspring or a child who is either have what we call a medical disorder, a very severe medical disorder, the chances are something like 98%. In one or the other, if a woman consumes alcohol, the chances of a woman producing a child who has either both her genetic whatever is altered, that baby or whatever, and also the medical disorder within that offspring or that child are very, very kind of severe, whereby a child cannot help themselves because of the effect that are embedded on the mucus lining of toxic gunk, toxic gunk toxins in the ovaries of a woman, which alters the entire genetic structure of an egg of a human being, whereby some diseases in modern times today, the diseases which have become hereditary diseases due to the dangers, to the alteration of the whatever, those diseases have become hereditary. They move on generation to generation, forming in human bodies, generation to generation, causing damage to the entire original genetic structure of human beings. With that, you have, and also alcohol is one of the deadliest fuel in spreading disease in human beings. Alcohol is one of the deadliest fuel in spreading disease from human to human at a speed, because in your modern time, your so-called civilized whatever, you said that you've invented a rocket which may travel maybe 6,000 miles per second or per hour or whatever, but alcohol kind of exceed that speed. Alcohol, the way alcohol spreads, fuels disease in human beings. The spread of disease in human beings. You would say that a rocket is made to look like an old man, an 80-year-old man or a 90-year-old man with a walking stick. The speed at which alcohol fuels disease spreading from one human to the other, that speed, it makes a rocket to whatever speed, the greatest speed that you human beings have ever invented. It makes that speed look like a 90-year-old man with a walking stick who by the moment he moves his leg, one leg, it will take him 3 minutes, and then he moves another. But the alcohol as a fuel in spreading disease in human beings, that speed is very. So I would advise humanity and governments and institutions. That some institutions have kind of, I don't know why they do it, but they say, because we collect taxes when we sell alcohol, we collect taxes. The taxes, if you look at agencies here in Europe, agencies like NHS and whatever, the funding of the diseases generated from alcohol consumption and crime, the funding of hospitals, of the NHS, is kind of tripled, is multiplied 8 times. The NHS has to pay more than what it collects. What the Chancellor of Exchequer collects from the taxes that he collects from alcohol, and he has to take that money and pay the NHS to kind of give support and health, whatever, to people already infected with diseases generated from alcohol. For instance, if a person gets a medical condition whereby her kidney is not working, her liver is not working, that means her liver, maybe this week her liver is not working, then after a few 3-4 weeks, her kidney too have a problem. So these are things that the NHS and healthy organizations, health institutions in Europe should look up to and say, I think enough is enough. Because if we are to look at crime committed when people are drunk, that rate, the security organs like the police and whatever, they'll tell you that it's way too much. That 90% of crimes committed, some or 90% of those crimes, they have to have a lineage to connected to alcohol misuse and alcohol abuse. Domestic violence, 90% of those whatever crimes, they have a direct connection with alcohol misuse or alcohol abuse, and so on and so on. So me as whatever, I would like to advise the World Health Organization to classify alcohol as one of the deadliest drug, intoxicant, whatever that is on supermarket shelves, which has made this planet uninhabitable by those who do not consume alcohol. Because the other effect that alcohol puts in a human brain is that those people, they become militants. Once you consume alcohol, you don't like anybody to say anything to you that you are drunk. But that effect is brought on by that kind of effect that you become paranoid. You are somehow paranoid 24 hours a day. When someone mentions alcohol, it's kind of because you've been hooked. It becomes over. When someone mentions, oh, this person is. It's kind of you think that everyone is attacking you. So it puts a militant whatever around you, that you become militant. You say you will do anything to stop anyone talking about what has made the humanity uncomfortable to live on this planet. My people, alcohol is one of the deadliest drug, intoxicant that is available, freely available at any counter, in every supermarket shelves, even when you go to restaurants. But the hidden danger is that you can't put a cost to it. But medically, institutions are grappling with deadly cancers, deadly whatever. And I'll talk about cancer in relationship of alcohol with cancer. Once you consume alcohol and alcohol attacks and destroys the electrical spasms in every red and white blood cell, the effect of that is that the red and white blood cell once it's disabled and or the whatever the electrospasm is killed, it kind of becomes it has no whatever to resuscitate itself. Once it tries to resuscitate a red and white blood cell, once it's disabled or killed by the alcohol toxin gang in alcohol, it tries to kind of resuscitate itself. Whenever it tries, it's pinned by the alcohol toxic gang toxins, which causes the red and white blood cell to mutate. In the process of trying to resuscitate itself, it mutates into a cancer tumor or a blood clot. A cancer tumor or a blood clot. So it forms whatever that causes the mutation of a cancer tumor, a cancer cell, because it has no electrospasm to give it a balanced rotation cycle, whatever sequences you go, which guides it that this is a normal cell or this is a cancer, you've mutated it into a cancer cell. That causes the mutation of red and white blood cells into cancer cells, which forms into cancer tumors. That effect is brought on by alcohol in human bodies. And with that, also there's another process which alcohol toxic gang toxins does to the human body. Because we saw that the alcohol, once it is in the human body, it causes, it kills the electrospasm in every red and white blood cell. But also, the human body does not know and does not have the mechanisms to remove alcohol toxic gang or toxins from the human body. Because that's how, when Allah created us, when the most holy glorified Allah created us, He said, do not consume alcohol. There is a holy divine law, which was laid down by the most holy glorified Allah who created us and said, do not put alcohol in your bodies. Because your bodies does not have the mechanisms to remove alcohol toxin gang toxins from the human body. So once you consume alcohol, it circulates in every tissue, in every muscle tissue in your body. And alcohol has a very deadly effect on muscle tissues of a human being. It has what we call a decaying, rotting, boiling effect. Decaying, boiling, rotting, format effect, which causes every muscle tissue to kind of die in a very slow but very painful whatever, causing the arthritis, because it's a boiling, it kills every whatever in every joint. It causes arthritis. With that, your body muscle tissues cannot regenerate. They cannot do any whatever regenerate, because whatever was killed a long time ago. Once you started consuming alcohol, that process is killed, and every muscle tissue in your body is circulated with toxins of alcohol. So, with that effect as well, it can easily cause the mutation of red and white blood cells in the human body to form into cancer tumors, into cancer clots and blood clots and tumors. So my people, alcohol is a very, very deadly substance, a very, very deadly drug, a very, very deadly intoxicant, a very, very deadly fuel in spreading disease, human to human. As well as sometimes mankind can even alcohol can cause men to pass on diseases from human beings to animals. So my people, alcohol is a health hazard. You may like to hear it and may not like to hear it. But before I close up, I'll tell you something. As I said, we began seeing that you were responsible as a 18-year-old girl you are responsible as a 18-year or 19-year-old man, a 20-year-old boy, a 20 or 30 or whatever, with the healthy, you being healthy, your heart being very well, that depends entirely on you. However, me as a surgeon, and me as an ICU surgeon, when your heart kind of stops, I wouldn't like to split your chest open to kind of put your heart, to give, say, a temporary procedure on your whatever. So that way, I advise you that, and I remind you, it's your responsibility as an individual to make sure that you don't put alcohol in your body. Because if you do, me as an ICU intensive care unit surgeon, I'll split your chest and give you a temporary procedure, kind of put your heart on a temporary whatever. After that, every pain that occurs in your body, it's you as an individual who will be kind of punished because of your recklessness and stupidity. That you took, you ran away, you gave your response, you made your body, your human body, whatever, a pain store. You build your whatever by drinking alcohol every day, and you made your body to become a pain store because every ounce or amount of alcohol that goes in your body never comes out. It ends up in every tissue, in every muscle tissue in your body. So that way, once the effect where we say that alcohol has an effect on human body muscle tissues, which is boiling, rotting, an effect, a format, a boiling, rotting, kind of decaying muscle tissue format on human body muscle tissues. That way, you feel pain. You'll be in pain every other hour, every other whatever. When the weather changes, the pain will be different. When this is this, the pain will be different. So, my advice to you is do not consume alcohol. Do not put alcohol in your bodies. You are responsible for your own health, for you being healthy. As a young girl, I showed you that your alcohol can eat, and it does. It causes the alteration of your original birth genetic structure to something that you wouldn't like. You wouldn't like to have a child or an offspring, a child who is kind of have a very severe medical disorder, whereby you have to spend all 24 hours of the day trying to support that medically disabled child because of your abuse of alcohol. You would love to have a baby who is bubbly, who is happy, who is bubbly, who is healthy. But if you consume alcohol, my friend, you'll find yourself that if the agency doesn't help you, the NHS, whatever, doesn't help you, you'll spend most of your time kind of tied to that child whom you disabled, you as an individual who decided to consume alcohol, and you caused the genetic and the medical disorder in your own child. So my advice to you, wise up. Alcohol is not a part of a healthy diet. Alcohol is not a part of healthy whatever. And for your information, young women, this part is for women. Because we saw that once you put alcohol in, once you consume alcohol, it puts out every sense of accountability, reasoning accountability out of your head. It puts out every sense of reasoning accountability out of your head, whereby they are what we call sex predators prowling the streets. Once you are drunk, those predators will do anything with your body. By the time you wake up the next day, realizing that you are in a different part of the country, with a person you've never met before, in someone's bed you've never met before. You don't know what happened. You don't know what he did to you. And if you were in your normal state, you wouldn't. Maybe he did things that you wouldn't do when you are in your more normal state. And for your information, any woman who is under the influence of alcohol cannot consent for any sexual whatever. You cannot consent because your reasoning accountability is out of your head. You don't have any reasoning accountability to make an informed decision, a consented decision, to engage in any sexual whatever with anybody when you are under the influence of alcohol. So, I would advise you, young men and young women, you are responsible as individuals for your own bodies, not the GP or the doctor or the ICU, whatever. You are responsible for making sure that your heart is very healthy, every part of your body is very healthy. That way you will enjoy life. But if you say you drank 5 bottles of cognac or champagne, you find yourself with pounding headache, what you call hangover headache. You cannot lift your head because it's pounding with headache. Do you know why you get hangover headache after a night out every weekend? That is what is caused by when you put every brain neuron in your brain, or you damage every brain neuron in your brain. Your brain neurons are damaged. Why? When you feel that you've got a hangover headache in your brain, in your head. That is your body sending a diagnosis you before you even see a doctor, before you even say a neurologist. The brain in you, whatever system in you says, your brain was damaged, severely damaged. That's why you have the pounding headache, hangover headache. Your brain was damaged. Your brain neurons were damaged. That's why you have what we call hangover headache, pounding hangover headache. And if you do that, you get that pounding hangover headache every other weekend, I guarantee to you that you'll be booking yourself into what we call a mental asylum, whereby you get what we call they call it dementia. Early dementia in your life. Early dementia, a healthy condition which is incurable. A healthy condition, dementia, which is incurable. So you are responsible for your own health, for you being healthy. That responsibility belongs to you as an individual, not to me as an ICU, a surgeon. That's all I can say. Do not invest in pain stores, because investing in pain stores, your body making it a pain store, you are the beneficiary of that pain store. You are the manager, the beneficiary. I would advise you that invest in good health. Look after your health. Give it good whatever that where you can reach the age when you are 40, you are able to run up and down. But if you reach by 40, you need a walking stick. I think that is unhealthy. Unhealthy. If you need a walking stick when you are 40 years old, I think that is very unhealthy. So I would advise you, look after your health. Do not invest in pain stores, cognac, yes, Jack Daniels, what you call Jack Daniels and whatever, John Walker and whatever, how do you call them, the John Walker, Jack Daniels, cognac and champagne. Those are materials for a pain supermarket, a pain warehouse supermarket, whereby you are the beneficiary, the manager and whatever. So you make your body whereby even at some time you find yourself on an ICU trolley, intensive care unit trolley, being pushed into the whatever theater, intensive care theater or whatever, to be able to fighting for your life. Fighting for your life. Look after your life. Invest wisely. Look after your life. Don't invest in whatever, in cognac. Don't invest in champagne. Don't invest in John Walker. Don't invest in whatever. I think I've not spoken very bad. If I've offended you, maybe when you were brought into my whatever ICU intensive care unit, fighting for your life, then I might remind you when you wake up that, did you hear about this message? Have a beautiful day. Look after your health. This is a World Healthy Organization message for those who cannot speak for themselves or who cannot pass on this information directed to you as human beings. I'm an alien. Think about it. I'm an alien. Think about it. I'm an alien. Think about it. Look after your health.